I never believed love could destroy someone. But looking back now, I realize it's exactly what it did to me. And the worst part? I didn't even know I was living a lie until she was gone. Her name was Claire. And for most of my life, I thought she was my everything, my safe place, my best friend, my home. We met in college. She was sitting on the library floor, surrounded by books she clearly wasn't reading, humming softly to herself like she lived in her own little world. I remember thinking, God, she looks like someone who's never been broken. I should have known better. We fell in love fast, dangerously fast. The kind of love that keeps you awake at night, the kind that burns every second you're apart. People told us it wouldn't last, that we were too young, too intense. But I didn't care. She made me feel alive. For years, I built my life around her. Every morning, I'd wake up to her messy hair on the pillow next to me. Every night, I'd listen to her laugh, soft and tired, right before falling asleep. We had our fights, who doesn't? But we always found our way back to each other. At least, that's what I thought. It wasn't until after she died that I realized how much of our life was built on things that never existed. The night she passed away, the sky looked strange, too calm, too clear. She'd been sick for months. I remember holding her hand as her breathing grew shallow. She looked at me one last time, and whispered, "Don't hate me." Those were her final words. At that moment, I didn't understand them. I thought it was just fear of dying. But I know now, it wasn't fear. It was guilt. After the funeral, the house felt hollow. I walked through each room like a stranger, touching the furniture, the photos, the traces she left behind. It was unbearable, the silence, the smell of her perfume still floating in the air. I thought grief was supposed to be a storm, violent, uncontrollable. But for me, it was emptiness. A quiet kind of pain that eats you slowly from the inside. A week later, I started packing her things. It felt wrong, like erasing her. But I couldn't bear seeing her clothes hanging there anymore. That's when I found it, a small wooden box at the back of her closet. It was locked. Claire was never the secretive type, or so I thought. I remember just staring at it for a while, the keyhole almost taunting me. When I finally opened it, I found a stack of letters tied with a red ribbon. And on top of them, a photo. Her and me. Only, she looked younger. And beside her was a man I'd never seen before. He had his arm around her. They looked in love. And the worst part, she was wearing the same necklace I gave her on our anniversary. The same necklace she'd sworn she'd never take off. My heart started racing. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe it was her brother. A cousin. Someone from before me. But deep down, I already knew. I sat on the floor and opened the first letter. Her handwriting, delicate, familiar, filled the page. "My love," it began. But the name wasn't mine. I can still feel that moment like a blade against my skin. Every line I read cut deeper. She wrote about places I'd never been, memories I didn't share, and a love so raw, so desperate, it couldn't have been for me. His name was Daniel. And according to those letters, he was the love of her life. The one she could never let go of. I read until my eyes blurred. Letter after letter, secret after secret. She wrote about how he left her, how she tried to move on, how she met me, and how, for a while, she thought she could love me the same way. But she couldn't. I wanted to scream, to tear every letter apart. But I couldn't move. I felt like I'd just stepped out of my own body and was watching my life crumble from a distance. She'd been lying to me for years. Smiling, holding my hand, telling me I was her everything, when in reality, I was just her distraction. Her way of surviving someone else's absence. For days, I didn't sleep. I just kept reading. There were letters written before me, during me, even after we were married. The last one was dated 6 months before she died. It read, "He's back. I saw him. Just once. I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I can't help it. I still love him. And I hate myself for it." That was the night she came home late. I remember she said she was visiting her sister. But when I asked her what was wrong, she just smiled and said, "Nothing. I'm just tired." She wasn't tired. She was torn apart by the love she couldn't bury. I didn't tell anyone about the letters. What could I even say? That my wife, the woman everyone thought adored me, had been in love with someone else the whole time. No one would have believed me. So I carried the truth alone. Sometimes, I wish I never found that box. Maybe I could have kept the version of her I loved, the one who whispered she loved me in the dark, who danced barefoot in the kitchen, who held me when I was falling apart. But once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Weeks passed. The grief turned into anger, the anger into confusion, and finally into something worse, obsession. I needed to know who Daniel was. What he meant to her. Why he left her. I searched everything, old social media accounts, university archives, mutual friends. His name appeared once. A photo, from 10 years ago. Same man. Same face. He looked older now, but still had that same confident smile. He was a photographer. Married. Living 2 towns over. I thought about reaching out to him every day. But I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I started writing to her. Every night, I'd take one of her old notebooks and pour my thoughts into it, like she was still listening. I told her everything, how angry I was, how much I missed her, how betrayed I felt. It became my only way to breathe. But one night, I wrote something different. I wrote, "If you loved him so much, why did you stay with me?" And somehow, deep inside, I heard her answer. It wasn't a voice. It was just a feeling. She stayed because she wanted to believe love could be rebuilt. Because maybe, she did love me, in her own broken way. That thought haunted me more than the letters themselves. Because what's worse than knowing someone didn't love you enough, is realizing they tried to, and failed. Months went by. I tried to move on. But I couldn't. Everywhere I went, I saw her. Every song, every smell, every place we'd been together felt poisoned. Grief became routine. I woke up with it, ate with it, slept with it. One day, I found myself standing outside Daniel's gallery. It was almost automatic, I didn't even remember driving there. Through the glass, I saw him talking to someone. He looked happy. Content. Completely unaware of how his ghost had destroyed my life. I could have walked away. I should have walked away. But I didn't. I waited until he was alone, then walked in. He turned to me, polite, curious. "Can I help you?" he asked. His voice was calm, kind. I hated him for it. I said her name. And the way his expression changed told me everything. He froze, not in confusion, but in recognition. Then he whispered, "Claire," like saying her name still hurt him. We stood there in silence for what felt like forever. Finally, I said, "She died." His eyes filled with something I couldn't read. Pain. Regret. Maybe guilt. He didn't ask how, or when. He just nodded. Slowly. Then he said, "She wrote to me." But I never answered. I thought it was better that way. My hands clenched. I wanted to hit him. To scream. To tell him how his silence ruined both our lives. But I didn't. Because in that moment, I realized something, he was broken too. "She loved you," I said quietly. He looked at me, eyes red. "I know." And that was it. 2 men standing in a room full of photographs, both mourning the same woman in different ways. One loved her first. The other, last. When I left his gallery, the air felt heavier. Like the truth had finally settled, and there was no escaping it anymore. That night, I burned the letters. Every single one. I watched the fire eat the paper, the ink, the lies. But even as the smoke filled the air, I couldn't shake the feeling that she was still with me. Not the version of her I knew, but the one she never showed me. And that's when I realized something I'll never forget. You can share a life with someone, and still never truly know them. After I burned the letters, I thought I'd finally feel free. But freedom doesn't come from destroying the truth. It comes from accepting it. And I wasn't ready for that yet. The next morning, I woke up to ashes scattered across the porch. The wind must have carried them from the fireplace. Tiny gray fragments of the life I thought I had, floating away like her promises. For a moment, I almost smiled. It felt poetic. Cruel, but poetic. I spent weeks trying to erase her presence. I gave away her clothes, deleted her photos, even repainted the walls she'd chosen. But no matter how much I tried to erase her, she kept coming back, in dreams, in memories, in moments I couldn't control. Once, I caught myself setting 2 plates for dinner. I laughed, then I cried. Grief does that, it confuses your body before it reaches your mind. People said I should start dating again, but how could I? How do you open your heart to someone when you don't even know what love really is anymore? I'd built my whole life around an illusion. And once that illusion shattered, all that was left was me, raw, broken, and empty. I started to question everything. Not just her, but myself. Who was I, without her lies to hold me together? Was I the victim, or just someone who chose not to see? Because deep down, I think I always knew. I saw the way she'd drift off sometimes, staring at nothing. The way her smile faded when she thought I wasn't looking. The way she said, "I love you," like it was an apology. But I ignored it. Because loving her felt better than being right. One night, I went back to her grave. It was raining, not heavily, just enough to make everything blur. I stood there, drenched, talking to the stone like she could still hear me. "I forgive you," I said. But it wasn't true. Not yet. Forgiveness doesn't come easy when your whole identity was built on someone else's lie. I kept visiting her. Every week, sometimes twice. People probably thought I was insane, but it was the only place I could still feel close to her, the real her, the broken one who didn't know how to love right but tried anyway. One afternoon, I noticed something strange. There were flowers on her grave, fresh ones. Someone else had been visiting. At first, I thought maybe her sister, but then I saw the small card tucked between the stems. There was no name, just 2 words written in familiar handwriting, "I'm sorry." It was him. Daniel. I stood there for a long time, staring at that card. At first, I felt rage, how dare he come here, after everything. But then, I felt something else. Relief. Maybe it was because, for the first time, I realized I wasn't alone in this. Someone else carried the same ghost. Someone else was haunted by her. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying everything, the letters, the lies, the way she looked at me the day she died. Don't hate me. Now I finally understood. She wasn't just asking for forgiveness. She was confessing. She knew the truth would surface, one way or another. The next morning, I did something I never thought I would. I wrote Daniel a letter. I didn't threaten him. I didn't blame him. I just told him what I wished someone had told me, that love isn't about possession, it's about truth. And sometimes, truth is the only thing that can survive after love dies. I never sent it. I didn't need to. Writing it was enough. Weeks later, I received a small envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside, a single photograph, me and Claire, smiling on the day of our wedding. On the back, there were 4 words written in her handwriting. I did love you. I stared at it for hours. At first, I thought it was some cruel trick. But the more I looked, the more I realized it wasn't. It was real. She must have written it before she died, maybe she left it with someone, hoping it would reach me one day. I don't know. But that photo changed everything. Because it made me see that love isn't black and white. She loved me and she loved him, in different ways, for different reasons. And maybe that doesn't make her a monster. Maybe it just makes her human. I started to remember her differently after that. Not as the woman who lied to me, but as the woman who tried to love me despite not knowing how. I remembered her laugh, her stubbornness, the way she used to hide behind sarcasm when she was scared. The way she'd say, "We're okay," even when everything was falling apart. I began to forgive her. Not because she deserved it, but because I needed it. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook, it's about freeing yourself from the weight of what they did. And for the first time since she died, I could breathe again. I started going out more. Seeing friends. Smiling without feeling guilty about it. I even started painting again, something I'd stopped doing years ago because she used to say the smell of paint made her dizzy. Turns out, it didn't. It was just another small lie. Funny how those small lies hurt the most when you realize how many you believed. One evening, while cleaning my studio, I found something at the bottom of an old drawer, her sketchbook. I'd forgotten it even existed. I hesitated before opening it, afraid of what I might find. But curiosity won. Inside were dozens of sketches, our faces, the house, random moments from our life together. But there was one drawing that stood out. It was of the 3 of us, me, her, and Daniel. We weren't touching. Just standing side by side, looking in different directions. And under it, she'd written 3 hearts. 1 truth. That's when I finally understood. She wasn't choosing between us. She was trapped between the versions of herself we both represented. Daniel was her past, the wild, unfiltered love she couldn't sustain. I was her present, the safe, steady love she wanted to believe in. And neither of us could save her from herself. That realization didn't hurt. It healed. Because for the first time, I saw her not as the woman who betrayed me, but as someone lost, searching for love in all the wrong places, even inside a lie. I closed the sketchbook, and for the first time in years, I said goodbye. A real goodbye. Not the kind you whisper through tears, but the kind that comes with peace. The next morning, I took the sketchbook to her grave. The flowers were still there, new ones this time. I placed the sketchbook beside them and whispered, "You don't have to be sorry anymore." Then I walked away. And for the first time since she left, I didn't look back. It's strange how love can destroy you and save you at the same time. How the same person who breaks you can also teach you what it means to be whole. I used to think the worst thing someone could do was lie. Now I know, sometimes, people lie because they're afraid the truth won't be enough. Claire was afraid. Afraid to lose love, afraid to face herself. And I was afraid too, afraid to see what was right in front of me. But in losing her, I found something I never expected, myself. And that's the real truth behind all of it. I lived a lie my whole life, but it's that lie that forced me to find out who I really am. Because sometimes, the truth doesn't set you free. It breaks you first. Then, slowly, painfully, it rebuilds you. Now, years later, when I think about her, it's not anger that fills me anymore. It's gratitude. Because even in her lies, she gave me something real, the lesson that love isn't about forever. It's about the moments that change you. And she changed me. I still visit her grave every year on her birthday. I bring 1 white rose and 1 red, purity and passion, truth and deceit. Because that's what we were. a perfect contradiction. Sometimes, when the wind blows just right, I swear I can still hear her voice. Not apologizing. Not explaining. Just whispering my name like she used to. And for a brief moment, it doesn't hurt anymore. I lived a lie my whole life, thinking love was supposed to be flawless, honest, pure, unbreakable. But maybe love was never meant to be perfect. Maybe it was always meant to be messy, fragile, and human. Claire lied to me, yes. But in her lie, she taught me the truth, that even broken love can be real. And though she's gone, a part of her still lives inside every truth I tell now. I lived a lie my whole life. But maybe, now that she's gone, I can finally start living the truth.